Welcome to the Kendo and Aido Italia podcast in this English language version. Enjoy listening.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here, as always, to give you that shortcut to being well-informed.
And today, we're really digging into Kyūdō.
That's right, the Japanese martial art of archery. Now, if you've mostly seen it in movies, you probably think, okay, very meditative, tranquil, maybe even spiritual.
And, that spiritual side is there, definitely. But the sources we dug into, they paint a much tougher picture.
Tougher how?
Well, we're looking at a discipline built on this incredibly precise, almost paradoxical technical foundation.
Okay.
So our mission today really is to unpack how Kyūdō isn't judged on hitting the bullseye, not primarily anyway.
Right.
It's about nailing this fixed, very detailed 8-step sequence. It's the ultimate study in pure form.
That's such a key difference, isn't it? Process over the outcome. It feels, well, almost backward compared to how we think about sports in the West.
Totally. But the Kyūdō idea is actually quite elegant if you execute that sequence perfectly, step by step.
Then the arrow hitting the target is just what happens.
Exactly. It's the natural result, almost inevitable. It sets up this amazing feedback loop for the archer.
And it seems like that focus extends beyond just the shooting range.
Oh, absolutely. It feeds right into the community aspect. For a lot of people doing Kyūdō, it becomes this crucial third space.
Like an IOP, a place of belonging.
Precisely. Somewhere that's not home, and importantly, not the high-stress world of work or school. It's a refuge, mentally and spiritually.
Which makes a lot of sense when you look at who's actually practicing. The sources had a really surprising demographic breakdown.
Yeah, it kind of turns the stereotype on its head.
You'd think maybe older masters, right? But no.
Not at all. In Japan, the vast majority, something like 75%, are students. Middle school, high school, university level.
75%, that's huge.
It is, but, and this is a big but, it creates this real cultural hurdle down the line.
What happens after graduation?
Well, think about the typical Japanese work culture. Long hours, immense pressure, finding time for Kyūdō practice, it becomes almost impossible.
So if you finish work at, say, 9 p.m.,
the dojo, the facility, it's probably already closed. So that vital community, that IOP we mentioned, often just gets cut off. The corporate grind kind of forces it out.
that commitment level, or the inability to commit time-wise, really speaks to how serious the practice is taken.
Definitely.
And you see that seriousness in the gear, too. Let's talk about the uniform, the hakama. This isn't just sportswear you grab anywhere.
Oh, absolutely not. The Kyūdō hakama, you have to get that from a specialized Kyūdō supplier.
Specific shops.
Right. And there are specific undergarments, the dogi. Plus, for any official events like gradings or competitions, it's strictly black and white.
No personal flair allowed.
Pretty much none. The sources mentioned hemp is often used for the top part, mostly for breathability in hot Japanese summers. But the point is standardization. It strips away ego, puts everyone on the same visual level.
All focused on the process.
Exactly, eliminating distractions.
And the footwear, those split-toe socks that tabi also required.
Oh yeah, essential. Think about the postures. Standing, kneeling on those smooth wooden floors. Tabi give you the necessary balance and grip.
So every single piece of clothing is functional, geared towards enabling the correct form.
Down to the toes. It's not about looking cool, it's about doing it right.
Okay, so that precision carries over from the archer to the environment itself. Let's talk about the range, the azuchi, the target bank. What stood out to me was how incredibly specific the whole setup is.
Yeah, azuchi isn't just a mound of dirt. It's engineered, highly specific rules.
Like the distance.
28 meters exactly. To a target, the motto, that's only 36 centimeters across.
Okay, 36 centimeters, but the height you mentioned.
That's the kicker. The motto sits at just about 10 centimeters off the ground.
10 centimeters, that seems incredibly low compared to like Olympic archery or anything else.
It is. And think about what that demands.
Your margin for error vertically must be tiny.
Exactly. You dip slightly on release, the arrow's in the dirt, a fraction too high, it sails over the bank. It forces this extreme vertical precision.
So it's a constant check on your technique.
A fundamental check, built right into the range geometry. It reinforces that need for perfect ritualistic preparation.
And even setting up seems meticulous. You don't just stick the target anywhere.
No way. Every practice session starts with setting it up precisely. You've got the gushi, that's the bamboo stake for positioning the motto.
Yeah.
And the sources mention markers too, like the sha for vertical alignment. We're talking millimeter adjustments here.
So if you rush the setup,
You've already failed, in a sense, before you even draw the bow.
okay, so you go through all that, you execute the form, The arrow flies. What's the payoff if you get it right?
Ah, the sound. That's huge immediate feedback.
The sound.
Yeah. Hitting a traditional paper motto makes this really deep, satisfying thwack, like a drum.
Right.
Even the newer plastic targets, they're designed so the paper face gives a clean, cool sound when pierced. It's auditory confirmation. Technique was good.
All right, let's get into that technique because this part is really fascinating. You don't pull the string with your fingers in Kyūdō. How does that even work?
It hinges completely on one crucial piece of gear, the glove, the yugeke.
The glove.
Traditionally made from deer skin, beautiful stuff, very durable. And the key part is the thumb. It's reinforced, very hard. And underneath that thumb, there's a specific stiff groove.
A groove like carved into it.
Yeah, a deep, hard channel. The bowstring rests in that groove.
Okay.
And that's the mechanism. It lets you minimize tension in your hand. Once the string is seated there, you're not pulling with your fingers or wrist at all.
So where does the power come from?
The elbow initiates the draw, engaging the big muscles in your shoulder and back.
So the hand is just sort of passive. A connection point.
Pretty much. Your thumb becomes like a hook, transferring the power generated by your core and back. It's really smart biomechanics.
Way more stable than just using fingers, I imagine.
Absolutely. Think about trying to pull something really heavy with just your fingertips versus hooking your elbow around it and using your whole body.
Right. No comparison.
The Yugewen lets you tap into those large, steady muscle groups. That's where the consistency comes from. Fingers are just too twitchy.
And these gloves, they're not all the same. There's a progression.
Correct. It's based on how rigid that thumb mechanism is. Beginners often start with a wagoshi style, which is softer, maybe no hard insert.
Okay.
The standard type is the kaboshi. That one has wood or horn reinforcing the thumb. It's much harder, demands more precision from the archer.
More demanding.
Yeah, less forgiving. And here's the traditional part. You can't just decide to use a harder glove. Your sensei, your teacher, has to essentially graduate you to it.
Seriously.
Yep, it's proof you've mastered the basics with the softer glove first. You have to earn the right to use the more advanced, more precise tool.
Wow. Okay, moving up the body then. You're drawing this huge bow back. The string comes across your chest, right?
Directly across.
Needs protection, surely.
It does. That's the munate. It's a chest protector, usually nylon, often triangular or maybe hexagonal.
And its purpose is just protection.
Mostly, but there's a technical aspect too. At full draw, the string, which they call the muniuru, sits right across the sternum.
Okay.
That contact point actually acts as another reference for the archer. It helps confirm you've reached full draw and you're keeping everything aligned horizontally.
Interesting. But given that powerful draw and the string path, you mentioned no arm guard. That seems like asking for trouble. How do they avoid slapping their forearm?
This is maybe the most elegant bit of physics in the whole thing.
Go on.
If you use the bow, the yumi, correctly, it's designed to rotate in your hand on release.
Rotate, like spin.
Exactly. You're not gripping it tightly. It's more like holding it loosely, allowing it to turn.
Okay.
That rotation, combined with the bow's asymmetrical shape, means the string naturally travels behind your forearm as it springs forward.
Whoa. So the technique itself prevents the injury.
Precisely. It's an integrated safety feature. Good form is safe form. No need for an external guard if the bow and body are working together correctly.
That's brilliant. And speaking of the yumi, the bows themselves are massive.
Oh, they're huge. Giants.
Yeah.
The actual height depends on the shooter's own height and arm span. But the average size, the nami, is 221 centimeters.
That's over 7 feet tall.
Yep. And handling that size, drawing it correctly, that's a big part of the challenge, especially with traditional bows.
And the materials reflect that blend of old and new we keep seeing.
Right. Lots of people use modern carbon fiber bows now. They're reliable, less affected by humidity and temperature.
But the traditional ones?
Bamboo, laminated onto a wood core. Beautiful, but demanding. Even just stringing one is a process.
How so?
They're so long and strong, you often have to brace the top end of the bow in a special hole or fixture on the wall just to bend it enough to get the string on. And that string height itself has to be super precise, usually about 15 centimeters from the bow grip. Adjusting it by just a few millimeters can completely change the shot.
Okay, and the arrows, the same kind of material hierarchy.
Pretty much. You've got aluminum at the entry level. Think of them as the training wheels. Solid, cheap, but basic.
Then carbon.
Carbon's the mid-range standard. Strong, Very consistent flight, less variable than natural materials.
And the top tier.
Bamboo, the hardest to master, the most expensive, but considered the best traditionally.
Making competitive bamboo arrows. That sounds intense.
It's incredible craftsmanship. Bamboo naturally wants to warp, right? It's organic.
Sure.
So getting a matched set, maybe 4 or 6 arrows that are identical in weight, stiffness, node placement, and perfectly straight takes a huge amount of work.
By a specialist.
Yes, the yashi, an artisan who spends days, weeks, carefully heating and straightening each shaft over a fire, millimeter by millimeter.
By hand.
All by hand. It's so painstaking that ordering a custom set of bamboo ya can apparently take up to a year.
A year. For arrows. That just resets your expectations about patience, doesn't it?
It really does. It forces you to value the process, the craftsmanship, long before you even shoot.
And the feathers, the fletching, more unique details there.
Oh, yeah. Black eagle feathers are apparently the gold standard, very durable. Turkey feathers are more common, cheaper, but they damage more easily.
And this tradition of shooting 2 arrows.
Right. They hit the me. They're fletched deliberately, so one spins clockwise, the other counterclockwise.
Wow.
The sources didn't fully elaborate on the why of the opposite spin, maybe aerodynamic stability and sequence, but the fletching itself is also positioned cleverly.
How so?
They're angled, so the smooth side of the feather quill is what might brush against your face at full draw. Avoid scraping.
Smart. And no quiver.
Nope, they carry arrows in a simple cloth sheath, the yacht. Again, minimizing bulk, keeping the focus clean.
Okay, we've got the gear, the mindset, the mechanics. Let's circle back to the result. Because you said the miss is the ultimate diagnostic. What does that 50% average adult hit rate really signify?
It signifies that consistent, perfect technique is incredibly hard to maintain. Now, students using those easier ringed targets might hit 80–90%, sure.
Right.
But for adults in grading or standard practice, it's usually just hit or miss. The key isn't the raw percentage, though. It's where on the Azuchi the misses land.
Because not all misses are equal errors.
Not at all. There's one miss that's fundamentally bad news.
Which one?
Missing to the right of the target. Consistently hitting right.
Why is right so bad?
Because it almost always indicates a failure in the left arm, the bow arm. You're not expanding properly, not using the push of the bow arm to balance the pull of the draw arm.
It's a breakdown in that core push-pull dynamic of the whole sequence.
Exactly. It shows the entire structural foundation of your shot is weak or incorrect.
And the sources said this can be an instant fail in a grading situation.
That's right. Because it signals you haven't mastered the absolute basics of the body mechanics, which is the whole point.
So if you have to miss, where's the better place to miss?
Ideally 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock, directly above or directly below the target.
Vertical errors are okay?
They're generally seen as less fundamentally flawed. Often it's just a small aiming issue or maybe a slight release glitch rather than a total collapse of the form like a right miss suggests. Easier to diagnose and fix, usually.
So Kyūdō isn't just about practicing over and over. It's about this constant, immediate analysis.
Totally. It's a real-time feedback loop. You don't shoot 20 arrows and then check the target.
Yeah.
No. You shoot one arrow, you see where it lands. If it's off, especially if it's right, you diagnose why in your 8 steps right then and there, and you adjust for the next arrow.
The Azuchi isn't just a target, it's like a mirror.
Exactly. A mirror reflecting your technique in that precise moment, demanding immediate correction.
What an incredible deep dive this has been.
Yeah.
We started thinking, okay, tranquil meditation.
Right.
And we found this world of staggering technical detail.
Yeah.
Deerskin gloves using back muscles, arrows taking a year to make over fire, the exact angle of the dirt. It really is all about the process.
It truly is. And that, I think, leads to the final thought we want to leave you with.
Okay.
Kyūdō demands this real-time adjustment based on immediate results. You see the miss, you fix the process now. So the question for you listening is, where in your own work or your life are you maybe waiting until the very end to see how things turned out? Instead of rigorously defining your process step by step and constantly adjusting it based on the feedback you get along the way, shot by shot, day by day.
Find that feedback loop, adjust the process.
Yeah.
It's a powerful takeaway. Thank you for diving deep with us today.
Thank you for listening to this podcast.
Kyūdō Italia, il podcast.